So rather than talk to you guys about what color is the dress that was trending worldwide and internationally all around the world on every single social media site there is, today I want to talk about something that I find a lot more important than what color is the dress. What is fair use? It's a question that's probably going to be going down very, very soon on a very big court battle, if it actually goes to court. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully Saban Entertainment realizes their flaws and why they are wrong in this case. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Saban is the company that owns the copyright to Power Rangers, you know, that show that we most likely grew up watching in the 90s. Well, I actually was not allowed to watch that show in the 90s because it was too violent. However, you know, when I reached my teenage years, I snuck a few episodes in growing up in my religious household. So for those of you who have not seen it yet, there's a link down below. It takes you to his Facebook page, which the video can still be seen, which was a Power Rangers fan film. And by fan film, what I mean is they made their own original costumes, something I do cosplaying all the time, so I understand if you make your own cosplay, you design your own suit, and you don't infringe on a company's, you know, logo or suit of whatever it be, then you have the ability to do fair use. There's also a policy which entitles parodies. You know, you could also argue this, that it was a parody of something else. In the legal sense, this qualifies completely 100% fair use. However, Saban Entertainment doesn't think that this Power Rangers reboot or bootleg or fan film is good for them at all. In fact, they hate it so much that they filed a DMCA against the channel in question who uploaded the video. Which to me goes to show how different Saban Entertainment is compared to Marvel, because this same guy released an amazing fan film called Dirty Laundry, which was a Marvel fan film of one of my favorite Marvel characters, the Punisher, and boy, that is also linked down below. Phenomenal if you haven't seen it yet. But Marvel understands fair use for the most part. Why can't Saban Entertainment understand that also? If you have people who are not making money through their fan film, you have these producers and directors wanting to make a dark, gritty, you know, how they would like to see Power Rangers done, in their own vision of what it should be, could be, or potentially be in the future. Why should you then silence their expression when they're not infringing on anything of your copyright? None of your logos, none of your copyrighted music, none of your costume designs, none of your original even actors. And what I find even more ironic is that only a few, but most of all of the original Power Rangers who saw this reboot loved it. Amy Jo Johnson says this: "Okay, that was pretty amazing. Certainly not for kids, but satisfying." She links it. "Cheers, you rock, Kimberly. Well, so we thought. Awesome and sexy job. You make me want to be her. Loved your Power Ranger fan film. Glad to see Adam was killed off. If there's a sequel, hit me up." And while it is true that Power Rangers has always been intended for a younger audience, this then begs the question, can you make something that was designed for children for mature audiences? And I say, hell yes. I mean, if you really want to go down this line of reasoning, by all means, look at Harry Potter. A very that was the age demographic for the first few Harry Potter movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, was really, really young. And then all of a sudden, the books did this too, but the whole series just dramatically changed from PG to PG-13. And by all means, I think some of the later Harry Potter films were very, very, very dark. That being said, I wouldn't even say that those were the last few Harry Potter films were even designed for children themselves. Does that mean because it's not designed for a younger audience, therefore it should be removed, and their freedom of expression of how they visualize the Power Rangers universe silenced? No. Just imagine if Disney came out and said, hey, every person who's ever used a CGI lightsaber in a fan film on YouTube, we're gonna take down your video because, well, you're infringing on our copyright. Which actually, technically, I do think a lightsaber may be copyrighted. I don't know. But nonetheless, this has never happened because there are hundreds of fan films of awesome lightsaber battles that people have filmed, edited, and animated onto YouTube, and Disney's not interested in taking down their video because I think for the most part they understand that it's a fan-made thing. And besides, I really don't think a lightsaber sword or light sword is really designated to specifically Star Wars, as there are many books and many things before that who had similar ideas. Link down below in the description is the original on the Facebook page of one of the producers. The video is still up on Facebook right now if you haven't seen it, but basically it takes Power Rangers and it visualizes it in a very mature, rated R scenery, and I love that. I love seeing things that have always been designed for children and toned into a dark, gritty visual experience of what a reimagining of what that should be. I have always loved that. I have rated MA Wolverine comics. In the first few Wolverine comics, his first series was, pretty toned out. They would fight and kick, and there'd be a little bit of splatter of blood. But then, in more recent years, you go to some Wolverine comics, he's chopping people's heads off, ripping people's intestines out in the comics themselves. And quite frankly, I love that. If making your own fan film not infringing upon logos, costumes, music is considered infringing upon someone's copyright, specifically Saban's characters known as the Power Rangers, then we are seriously doomed on YouTube for any sort of freedom of expression, fan films, and these companies like Saban Entertainment have their panties so far up their ass that they don't give a shit about the actual fans of the content. They care about protecting their child-friendly brand, which I do understand as I've done branding here on YouTube myself. But even still, that doesn't give you the right to take something down which wasn't infringing to begin with, simply because you don't like it. Anyways, the video to the original Power Rangers reboot is linked down below. Please check it out. The two people who are involved behind it are also linked down below. Show these people some support because they put a lot of work into this fan film, and it deserves to stay on YouTube. Supposedly, he filed a counter DMCA notice, which will mean the video will be up within 10 days, assuming they don't have a court order to keep it down. My name is Daniel Solzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Peace the rep out and have a fantastic Friday.